All right, so today we're going to do a deep dive on something a little different.
Okay.
We're going to take a look at a YouTube short from Jamaican Adventures,
Interesting.
and we're talking just a few seconds of video,
Yeah.
but even in those snippets we can find a surprising amount to think about.
Oh, absolutely. And what's interesting here, I think, is that we're really dealing with a form of storytelling that's all about, like maximizing impact in a very minimal time frame. So
Yeah.
it's like, how do you grab attention? How do you establish a narrative?
Right.
How do you leave a lasting impression? And you've got to do all that in just the space of, somebody scrolling through their feed.
Exactly. And in this particular short, the intrigue comes from this phrase.
Okay.
In the transcript, it says, "I was on the beach, so when I feed grandma, I want to say run away ready."
Wow.
It's a bit jumbled.
Yeah.
It's a little chaotic,
It's kind of all over the place.
but it definitely piques the curiosity.
It does. And this is where I think we have to acknowledge the influence of, Jamaican dialect.
Yeah.
The rhythm, the repetition, the playful use of language.
Mhm.
It all adds to the charm and the mystery.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's break this down.
Okay.
We've got a beach setting.
All right.
We've got this act of feeding,
Okay.
and then there's this idea of running away.
Right.
It almost feels like a riddle,
It does.
challenging us to piece together a story.
It is a riddle, and that's, I think, a key feature of this short form content.
Okay.
It relies a lot on ambiguity.
Okay.
It relies on leaving these gaps for the viewer to fill in.
Uh-huh.
So it's almost like a form of collaborative storytelling,
Right.
where the audience becomes an active participant in creating meaning.
I like that.
Yeah.
This single word feeding,
Yes.
it's so loaded.
Oh, yeah.
It could be literal, someone sharing food with another person or even an animal.
Right.
But knowing the playful nature of Jamaican Adventures,
Mhm.
maybe it's metaphorical.
Yeah.
Like feeding a story to the audience,
Yeah.
keeping them hooked.
Feeding the imagination.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And this is where I think understanding the cultural context is really crucial.
Okay.
Jamaican culture is known for its vibrant storytelling tradition,
Great.
full of humor, wordplay, vivid imagery.
Uh-huh.
And I think this short could be tapping into that tradition.
Okay.
It's almost like they're inviting us to decode these hidden meanings.
Okay, so we have these layers of interpretation
Right.
kind of swirling around.
Yeah.
But what about that runaway ready part?
Right.
Does that inject a bit of danger into the mix?
It certainly adds an element of tension, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be playful, right?
Yeah.
It could be like a chase scene,
Uh-huh.
with this mischievous energy.
Right.
Or perhaps there's a genuine sense of caution, like they're encountering something unexpected on the beach.
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
Yeah.
What does the creator want us to feel? Excitement?
Yeah.
Intrigue?
Uh-huh.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, it's fascinating how they managed to evoke all of that in such a short snippet.
I know, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
And that's the genius of it, right?
I think so.
They've given us just enough to spark our imagination
Right.
and leave us wanting more.
Absolutely.
And think about this. This is happening on YouTube Shorts,
yeah.
a platform designed for instant engagement.
Right.
It's all about capturing attention
Yeah.
in this crowded digital landscape.
Absolutely.
And this short does that brilliantly.
Yeah, I think it does it really well.
So in a way, we're not just analyzing a YouTube short.
Yeah.
We're looking at a microcosm of how content is created
Right.
and consumed today.
Exactly. And what I think is so fascinating is how this tiny piece of content exemplifies a much broader trend.
Okay.
The power of these open-ended narratives.
Okay.
It's about inviting the audience to become co-creators,
Interesting.
to engage with the material and come up with their own interpretations.
And, it makes me think about how we approach information in our daily lives.
Yeah.
Do we passively consume,
Right.
or do we actively engage and question what we see and hear?
Mm-hmm.
I think this short is a little reminder to always keep that sense of curiosity alive.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes the most fleeting moments hold the most potential for discovery,
That's a good point.
if we're willing to look a little deeper.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think that's something really important for us to remember
Absolutely.
in just our, day-to-day lives
I agree.
and the way we interact with the world.
Yeah. I think this short is a great example of that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, this was fun.
Yeah, this was a really interesting deep dive.
Thanks for joining me today.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
And we'll see everybody next time.
Sounds great.